Let's go.
P2 is Tony Crispin.
Good morning from Apple Valley Speedway. We are here for the Ultimate Drift Challenge. This is a competition ran by Bailey and some other friends, and it's a 215 tire spec comp, which means we have to run really little tires. It's gonna be the least amount of grip the Z's ever had, but I'm hoping we're gonna learn a lot. Practice is starting right now. I've already got the car unloaded. Let's get out on track.
Straighten up. Stay sliding sideways, but I want to see good proximity points here.
All right, first practice lap out here, and they were doing an interesting thing. So this is a rolling start. It's like a gentleman's rule. You're supposed to do 25, 35 miles an hour until this green flag. Then you start accelerating, and first try here, I'm initiating really early. That's where I'd normally initiate if I did like a full speed run up. And it just put me really shallow. Totally missed the outer zone 1. But again, this is my first lap, so just kind of getting a feel for it, trying to figure out where these zones are at. Like that was supposed to be an inside clip coming around this last corner, and the finish line's right there. Did a few more solo laps and then decided to jump behind Eric and figured maybe I could learn something from chasing him. He ignores the gentleman's rule, which is okay, it's just a practice lap, so we're getting a little more speed here. I'm still entering at the same exact spot, which puts me shallow again. You can see he's out in the zone and I'm not. But that does make for a little bit better chase because I was kind of cutting line. That gave me the ability to catch up here. And doing all right here, I kind of get more inside on that little hairpin, which worked out better. So as far as my first chase run of the day, this was pretty decent. All right, got a couple practice laps in. Did like 2 solo practice laps and then immediately jumped into tandem with Eric in the red E46. So much fun. The car feels so good right off the bat. I made some adjustments this morning when we got here, changing the shocks. I set some tire pressures kind of just as a guess. And really the thing feels great. I can't believe it. The 215s feel like they have enough grip. I actually have to drive a little harder than I thought. I figured this thing was going to be like it was on ice skates, but it's super fun. It's crazy driving a car that is just so much more loose than it used to be. And the new rear end is insane. I cannot believe how good the power band feels. That's a complete game changer in itself. The day is just getting started. We're about to line up for battles now, and I'm already having a blast. The way the format works for these battles is there are 2 run groups. In each run group, there's 8 drivers, and every driver gets 5 battles. You get 5 points if you win, 2 points if you lose, as long as you complete the battle. And then whoever has the most points at the end of the day is who wins the whole thing. So there's no elimination. It means everybody's gonna get a bunch of driving, a bunch of battles, and a ton of experience. Like I said, it's gonna be a really fun day, and I'm ready to hop into these battles. Battle against TJ Hunt. I'm leading first. All right, first lead lap in battles here. So we start gaining speed, and you'll see I enter in the same spot I've been entering in practice, which is a little too early. But I worked the car out a little bit wider. I'm still pretty shallow, kind of missing that outer zone in turn 1. But we're doing better than practice, but still not great. We get out here to outer zone 2, and I missed that inner clip again. I was just drawing the wrong line around that. Not a bad lead, but definitely not great. Now we jump in the chase. TJ's leading. And watch, he enters a little bit later and kind of soft and really lets the car float out, way out to outer zone 1. Doing a real good job there. And I'm just doing my best to keep up. And again, this is a pretty good chase run. Definitely happy with the second half of this battle, but was it enough to take the win?
First battle in the books against TJ Hunt. I ended up losing. My chase was great. I'm super happy with that. My lead run just wasn't as good as his. He was a lot deeper in that first outer zone and I came up a little shallow. So I understand where I need to improve. Really proud of that chase run. We're gonna carry that energy through, make some tweaks on the lead. We'll take it from there. We got 4 more battles in this run group.
Second battle underway here, and now I am chasing first, which I prefer. This E36 was faster than I thought, especially off the line. You see he kind of pulls a gap as soon as we pass that cone, and now I'm playing catch up here. He's a little shallow there, and I'm even more shallow cutting the line to catch up, and thankfully it pays off. I'm right on his door, doing my best to stay there. You can see we get back on the door coming around this last turn here, and then across the finish line. Again, not a bad chase. Switch to the lead.
Again, I know what I have to do. I gotta get that outer zone right. I enter a little later and a little softer, and we're in the zone, and then I missed the downshift. Thankfully, I was able to get it back in gear, and it was just a slight bobble, but it was enough to kind of throw me off. I'm doing my best to get back online and a little closer on that inner clip, but still not on point. And across the finish line.
Second battle down. I kind of bobbled in the lead, but I think my chase, again, was on point. I'm feeling really good in the chase. I just have to get the line down for lead runs. We ended up tying, so we each get the same amount of points moving on. Battle number 3 down. We won that one. So that's 1 loss, 1 tie, and then 1 win. Battle number 4 against that white E46. We took the W on that one. So that's 2 wins, 1 tie, and 1 loss. We've got 1 more battle left in this run group. Last battle of this run group, E36 again. We tied him last time.
So I didn't film every battle, but here's the last battle of that first run group. It's up against that same E36 I ended up tying with, and I'm chasing first. And watching this back, I can't believe I didn't try to like jump the line, because he pulls a gap on me again, which means I've got to play catch up again, just like we did the first time we battled him. And again, he's a little shallow on the zone. I'm cutting that zone to get on his door. Pays off. I transition a little late, which means he pulls a bit of a gap on me. And then we're trying to catch up again. Make it to his door and across the line. Funny enough, this ended up being a tie again.
First run group down, did all 5 battles. Car ran great, feels amazing. The new angle kit is sick, and the gear change is like a complete game changer. The car feels so good. I am so stoked. We ended up winning 2, we tied 2, and then lost 1 to TJ Hunt. So we're hanging out while the other run group's out on track, and then it'll be our turn again. I don't know if we're like changing drivers or really how any of the brackets work. This is definitely different in terms of like competition goes, but it's super fun. It's cool just to like battle and battle and battle. Definitely having a lot of fun. And the 215s are holding up great.
This pizza was amazing, but I'm gonna skip the next run group and we're gonna jump right into the finals.
All right, guys, we earned enough points in the first and second brackets. We're now in the finals. So they took the top 8 drivers of the day, moved us into the finals. They reset the points completely. So we're going into the finals. Everybody's on a level playing field, 0 points. We each get the same 5 battles, and whoever has the most points at the end of the day takes home the W. So should be a lot of fun. Now we've got all the most consistent drivers of the day, which is gonna make for really good tandems and a whole lot of fun.
First battle of the finals, up against a white S13. I think this thing was KAT. It sounded pretty cool. Again, watching this back, I don't know why I'm not jumping the line, because he pulls a gap on me right away. And then I'm playing catch up. You can see he goes really deep, and I'm really shallow trying to chop the line, and he ends up too deep. Thankfully, we avoid a collision here.
First battle down, we won. It was a really close call. I really thought we were gonna crash. I'm so glad I was able to save that. No contact was made, and I had a clean lead, so 1 win in the books. Let's get 4 more.
And that was pretty sloppy on my part. Focus on proximity this time instead of line. That line's gonna be good. Okay, got it.
As you just heard my spotter and I mention, my lead line was pretty sloppy. I ended up staying out in outside zone 1 too long, like beyond where the zone ended. And it just put me way offline for outer zone 2 and kind of cleaned it up before the finish line, but really it just wasn't a good lead run. So as my spotter said, focus on proximity. That's what we're doing here. I'm really trying to get on this guy's door. Still not perfect on that transition timing, but we're cleaning it up. I get back on his door for that last outer zone, and we go across the finish line.
Battle number 2, we ended up losing. My lead line was just really far offline. Basically, I held outside zone 1 way too long and then completely missed the inner clip. My chase run was good, but didn't make up for a really bad lead because the guy I was against, his lead run was great, and his chase run was pretty good too. So 1 win, 1 loss, 3 more battles to go. So just everything was bad.
You kind of cleaned it up in the later half, so you have to do a good chase. Focus on line and then proximity.
Okay, copy.
Okay, so I'm just going to include all the chase runs, otherwise this video would be super long. But as you may have heard my spotter and I talk about, my lead run was not good. I went almost off track and just stayed in outer zone way too long, so I've really got to make up for it in the chase run. And this is one of the best chase runs of the day. I mean, I enter I'm immediately on his door. I'm not really playing catch up. And I was super hyped on this. And then the transition was timed pretty good. We get back up on him, coming around that last inner clip, and then across the finish line.
So we ended up losing our third battle against Brian in the little purple BMW. Again, my lead just wasn't there. Chase was killer. I've got my chases dialed in. I'm feeling really confident with that. Are you vlogging? Yeah! So now we've got 2 battles left. The next one's going to be up against TJ Hunt.
So I'm just going to include my lead line here, and you'll see why in a minute. Now, I was really hyped on this battle. I really wanted this as kind of a rematch from the first battle in the day where he beat me. Now, TJ is a great driver, super consistent. He was killing it all day, but I felt like I had a decent chance. Our cars are pretty even. Neither one of us was running nitrous today. So you can see I enter, get out to outside zone. I'm starting to feel it, feeling pretty good. And then we get a little bump from TJ here. You can kind of see it move the steering wheel just a bit. Not enough to like throw me off line or anything, but it was enough to feel it. And as we go around the last corner here, I'm looking back and I'm like, where's TJ? Oh, he's over there. What happened? So at this point, I just start celebrating because I'm like, did I just win? Is that what just happened? I'll include an outside shot that Omar got for me. In the GoPro footage, you can hear I was on throttle, but I talked to TJ afterwards because I was curious if it was my fault because I slowed down too much or if he was just kind of driving too aggressive in the chase. And I don't think I slowed down too much. I was on throttle when he hit me. I think I was just going slower than he anticipated, and he was kind of charging in because he wanted to make up ground. And I think there was just a bigger difference in speed than he was anticipating. Now, what caused the spin is his front wheel actually hit my rear wheel, and if you make wheel-to-wheel contact, it's a pretty good odds that you're just going to lock up that front wheel, which will cause an immediate spin.
Got the win on that one against TJ, so 2 wins, 2 losses. We've got 1 more battle left.
Now this is what I thought was going to be my last battle because it was the 5th. It's against Chris and his Z, set up pretty similar to mine. Doing my best to keep up and get on his door and stay there. We battled a few times throughout the day, and I think we tied almost every one. We both have really similar driving styles. Like I said, our cars are set up similar, but it's always a good time. Now, unfortunately, I didn't record after this battle to say who won or who lost. If my memory serves me right, I won. It was either my victory or we tied. I really can't remember exactly.
Now this is where the day got kind of interesting because that was the 5 battles in the finals, and that should have been it. Everybody did their fair share of battles, but when they tallied up all the scores, 6 of the 8 drivers in the finals were tied for first. Kind of hilarious, but that's just the way all the points added up. So they decided to have us continue battling, but this time it was going to be elimination style. So basically you lined up with somebody, battled. If you won, you stayed on track. If you lost, you went off track. And then they just kept running it like that. I ended up doing 3 more battles. Here's the outcome of those.
First battle of our death match, let's call it, against Eric. Driven with him a bunch. I still kind of hesitate on the run-up because his speed is just a little slower than I was anticipating. Either way, get right on his door. Great tandem. He's always such a fun guy to tandem with because he's such a consistent driver. And his car's not super fast, so he doesn't really run away from you. So it gives you a lot of opportunity to get on his door. Always fun. Here's a little outside clip of my lead run. I ended up taking the win on this one. I don't think it was by much though, because like I said, Eric is a good driver. But that brings us on to the next battle in the deathmatch final, whatever you want to call it. Next battle in the finals against TJ Hunt. I don't really remember what happened on my lead, but here we are in the chase. Again, doing everything I can to get on his door. Kind of bobbling just because I'm trying to drive extra aggressive. Something I need to take note of here, but still doing my best, still getting up on his door. The proximity's definitely there. I'm not too far offline. It just could be a little smoother.
Battle number 6, I won. Battle number 7 against TJ again, I just won.
This was the final battle of the day. Me versus the E36 that I tied with like 3 or 4 times earlier in the day. And I'm just gonna let it play out. Thankfully I've got some out of car footage, so enjoy that. And
Took it all the way down to the very last battle, the finals, the overtime, the death match, whatever you want to call it. We ended up doing 7 or 8 battles, all the way down to the last one, and I don't know if we won or not. They're gonna do an award ceremony and announce who got first and who got second, but oh my God, what a fun day. I've never done so many battles in my life. It was so fun.
So this is the podium ceremony for round 2 of the Ultimate Drift Championship. Nope, Ultimate Drift Challenge. I do that every time. We thank all you guys for coming out. I hope everyone had a good time. Appreciate everybody, all the guys who've been here for the first round, as well as those who were here for the second round. So we're gonna do 4 awards. I'm gonna start with a hard charger for the day. And in my opinion, and just looking at what I saw today, I think Chris France gets the hard charger award for today. I don't know if he's still here. Is Chris still here? There he is. Come on up. Good job, bro. Want to say anything?
Yeah, this is a tough comp. I mean, towards the end of the day, I had a headache, and honestly, I don't think I even really wanted to drift anymore. But this is a great comp, so props to all the amazing drivers, you know, Tony, everybody.
So the third place was TJ Hunt. Let's go. I think he's over here. There he is. Let's go, TJ. All right. P2 is Tony Crispin. So come on up. We'll film each other filming. How's that sound? All the way down from the Bay Area, Jake Fleming. Congratulations. Come on up. Nice job, dude.
Hey.
Anything to say?
Oh yeah. Thank you to all the staff. Driving was on point. There's a couple of you guys I didn't get to drive with, like the hard charger. You were on my list. I was like, oh man, we got to go together.
Next time.
So it's a great event, tons of seat time. I come down here for a reason. Happy to be here. Thank you to everyone that makes it, happen.
Thanks to these guys right here. Omar, all the sick media. Nate, who's running away. Bye, Nate. And that's a wrap on the Ultimate Drift Challenge. I had so much fun. That's my first time getting on the podium at any kind of drift competition. Definitely won't be the last, but man, I had so much fun. It was such a cool event. It's a totally different take on competitive drifting, and it's cool to be able to get so much seat time, but have that seat time still be competitive, because it really changes the dynamic of things versus a track day where you're just out with your friends having a bunch of fun. It doesn't really matter if you make a mistake there or how you drive or whatever, as long as you're having fun. Whereas this is like, there's still consequences if you win or lose. You have to push to drive better. And like you heard Chris say, because we were doing so many battles throughout the day, it was honestly exhausting. I think if I counted right, I did 18 tandem battles. That's 18 leads, 18 chases, where I really had to be locked in mentally. And that's kind of unheard of in competitive drifting, but it really pushes you mentally to like stay checked in even when you are tired. You've been out on grid for hours. It's been a hot summer day. And I think that was just a cool environment to be in. And it's only gonna help me grow as a driver. And yes, we're on 215s. It's not like it's super competitive. We're at a kart track. We're not going crazy fast. But at the end of the day, if you can dial it in, throw down good runs, regardless of where you're at, how your car is set up, or whether you're tired or not, that's only gonna help you grow as a driver. And that's why I went there, and I think I really accomplished everything I wanted to. And then getting on podium was just an added bonus. Plus the car worked perfectly. I mean, that's the first event we've been to with the new rear end, the new angle kit, and a few other little odds and ends, and it just worked perfectly. It definitely boosted my confidence in the car, in the setup, and in my own skills, which we're gonna need because this weekend we're actually in Bakersfield for Hot Pit Auto Fest. By the time this video is out, I think it's going on right now. So get in your car and drive to Bakersfield, California right now and be at Hot Pit Auto Fest round 2. Because like I said, we're going in with a lot more confidence than we went into round 1. Did some solid testing, made some good changes, and this car is ready to rip. So big shout out to Ultimate Drift Challenge for having me out. It was super fun. If you guys want to know more about the series and maybe join a round down the road, check them out on Instagram. And I just have to give a massive shout out to Nate for coming and helping me all day. He was my spotter on the walkie. He gave me a bunch of helpful pointers, and I really couldn't have done that alone. It really changes the game having someone in your ear saying, hey, you need to do this, or you kind of coaching you through your run and pointing out your mistakes. And that was just another way that I was able to grow as a driver, because I could reflect on what I did immediately after the lap, as he was giving me feedback saying, you know, you missed this zone, you initiated it a little early or a little late or whatever it was. It was all super helpful. A big thanks to Omar for coming out, getting some media. Thanks to Ian for coming out and getting some media. We're all gonna be at Hot Pit as well. So if you're going out there, come say what's up to not only me, but the whole team. And we hope to see you guys out there. that's going to be a wrap on this video. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed my first podium finish at any kind of drift event. Like I said, it's not going to be the last. So make sure you're subscribed because there's more action to come. But until then, catch you guys in the next one.